As you can see, I'm on a Linux machine here called Ubuntu, Linux Ubuntu 20.04. So the demonstration that I do, I wrote a awk.sh shell script that actually will guide us to the training in this session. So first, I want to welcome you to my MyWebUniversity free education videos, where you can just go and subscribe. If you don't know the channel, it is basically a YouTube channel that I have. And this is basically my dashboard on the studio. But if I go to YouTube channel, and then by default, since I'm logged on as myself, it comes into my profile on the channel. The channel name is MyWebUniversity Free Educational Videos. And I have more than 150 videos already in the subjects of related to computer science courses, whether it's operating system, database, programming languages, shell scripting, C, Python, C++, Bash, awk, anything, it's all in here. So you're welcome to like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into today's session, which is this program. So on this program, basically, I'm doing some tips and tricks with awk programming language. When I press enter here, it goes through the session. First, the awk programming language, the name stands from the first pioneers that they started the awk programming language at the Bell Laboratory of AT&T back in the 1970s or 69, 70, 71, on those area. And the first A is taken from Ahu Alfred. The second one, W, is taken from Weinberger Peter. Peter Weinberger was the W, his name. And then Brian Kernighan was the K is there. Apparently, all these three programmers at the Bell Laboratory, they started with awk programming language. Now we know as pattern scanning processing language, which allow you to do a lot of neat stuff. If you want to write some kind of computation that you could do some sort of Excel spreadsheet, and instead of just using Excel on a Linux machine, going to download, let's say, something like LibreOffice or something, you can just do it at the command line or at the writing a script to just do all the calculation for you. Similarly, any reporting languages, you are welcome to use it. On subsequent videos that I'm going to post, I'm going to discuss about the pattern, the kind of action, all the structure of the awkward programming language. It's called awkward because of the names are taken, but it's actually, the syntax is a little bit kind of different than every other programming language, and that are much easier to see it, like Python, for example. Python is a scripting language as well as a programming language, but awk is like shell on bash kind of a scripting, but has a lot more powerful. So you could write maybe a C program that is maybe one paragraph, or C++, or Python that's like maybe one paragraph or one page, but then you can write it in one line in awk, because it just grips everything from the command line and just does it. In fact, you can use awk to replace grep or egrep or cat commands, all those ones in just one line of syntax, which I may show you at this view or another, at this video or another video. So let's go back to saying that awk, Brian Kernighan is still currently maintaining and enhancing the awkward programming language to make it better. He's one of the pioneers, but at the same time, he is still developing as of today. So that's a very good news. The second part that I'm going to do is just show you a number of awk script that I wrote here. Let's see, sorry, ls minus l. I just did something, and instead of s, I typed a. That's why I did not find it. So these three programs that are there, let me clear my screen and run this command. At this time, the content of h.wak, you can see that it's there with the cat command. The cat command is just basically concatenating it. And if you do a -n, also it concatenate it with line numbers. Same thing you can establish using the awk command. So and instead of doing cat -h, you could do, like, for example, awk and then print $0. And by default, a print is printing every line there, but if you do $0, that is a kind of default value as well. So it is just assume that if you don't put $0, you just say print, it will do the same thing. So now the input file in this case awk, so you can see that cat command is there, as well as the awk command is doing the same thing. Before I jump into the hello world, I want to show you a number of things that you can do to replace, for example, cat or grep or something there. But these are tips and tricks that we will call it, you can do it. So another thing that you could do, for example, with awk programming language, if you say cat -n, and this will just give you line number. So I could just simply replace here, put the number of rows and a space, and then it will do the same thing as if I did cat -n. So the awk command is equivalent to cat -n is this command right here. You just give the input file, and this doesn't have to be just the one file. So you could replace this one to like a file etc password, and you can see that the line numbers are there. And if I don't want to do the line numbers here, you could do similarly like this, and then clear the screen. You could do that one in there. So honestly, like when I said you don't need that $0, you could do that one and omit it, and it's still there. But if you want to just get the line numbers like this, number lines, you can get the line numbers only. And then if you want to get, for example, the number of lines plus the first field, you could say $1. And if you want to get the number of lines, comma, the second, field number 6, which is home directory, you could do that as well. So notice that it's very easy to do it. And then another thing is you can use awk to replace the grep command. For example, if I do a grep -i wlutfi, and then I just say etc password, I could get that information. But I can do the same thing with awk. Let me clear my screen so it's easier to see it. Like right here, I could say awk and then do a search, which is wlutfi, and then do a print here, print $0, and then just close it, and then give the input file as password, and that would do exactly the same thing. And then if you just say give me line numbers on that one, as well as the line number that was matched, you could see that the line number that is matched here. So equivalent to, like, for example, that grep -i, and then you could say grep -in. N would give you the line numbers that was matched. So equivalent to grep -in is this command. It will just give you the same thing. And then let's say you could do this one. You could also do, like, as you're doing grep, you can use the piping, and then just say I want to get print $1, for example. So if I do that $1, because at this time the awk by default, the field separator is space. There's no space. So in order for me to just get that one, then I have to say -field separator, and then put the colon here, and then do that one now, field 1. And if I want field 2 of it, it's going to be wlutfi. And field number, let's say this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, 6 is the home directory. I could do that 6 for this one. Let's see, print $7 maybe. Yeah, so the field separator, because we had another thing out here. If I just go here with way I did it for the grep command, since I did the -in, if I just do this one, field number 6 would be the field separator, because without that one, $0, it does not have a line number, so the 31 would not be there. $0 give you all the ones, and this is field 1, and this is field 2, 3, 4, and then this is space is 5, this is 6 and 7. So if I want to just say on the password file, show me the number of fields that are there, number of fields is going to be showing 7, because that is by default. The etc password file has 7 fields. So those are variables that we could discuss. Let's go back to the first example that I wanted to show you with awk. So right now you can see h.awk is basically a program that I'm saying that use GNU awk, and then use this -f option. And then once you're using this shebang, it's basically saying that whichever one is awk is there, the symbolic link of user ben awk is a symlink to gawk. And then the gawk is the actual binary that this one is symbolic link to. As you can see, this is symbolic link. This /l here means a symbolic link. This symbol means it's direct, like an alias, that this is pointing as a symbolic link to user bin. But which gawk is the actual binary file user bin. Gawk is the actual binary GNU awk, and the new version of GNU awk. That's also so if I say which new awk, this is also a symbolic link to user bin gawk. They all are kind of pointing to the same one. And if I do the same thing, this one is also pointing to gawk. So they're all symbolic link to the gawk, and the gawk type of user bin, gawk is executable link format that is right here, shows here. Executable link format is binary, and then this is the type is user bin gawk, GNU awk. So whenever we run nawk or AWK or anything that is related to awk itself, awk is using the gawk binary. So clearing the screen back and looking at the store.awk, now we're looking at h.awk. So h.awk is basically, if I want to just run this begin hello world program, I can just say here gawk, or I can say awk. Basically, when I type on awk or knock or nawk or gawk, it's just calling the awk. So that is still the same program. But when I do a gawk here, I can do this begin statement, begin, and then I can say print, and then within the quotation mark, I can say hello world, and then new line character, and then close it. And then right here, when I do this one, it is basically failing at this time, because it's I'm not just doing anything but telling awk to just hang, because it is expecting me more information to do this one. But if I just take this code out here, and then that is not working. So let's see. Oh, the begin, that's where the problem, the typo was there first place. Begin with E. So that should have worked in the first place. I just mistyped it. So that code that I'm doing here, it should be like this: awk, and then begin, and then print hello world. But if I want to just run that one inside a Python program, I mean not Python, awk program, then I could say let's say .awk, and then cat h.awk. We wrote this one. Now I should be able to run h.awk, and then this program is basically say use gawk with -f argument, and then just run it. Notice that here we're just hard coding the user bin gawk as the we're not using the environment variable that is there. And then you can also run the awk with awk -f and then say h.awk this way. It will do the same thing. So Here we're using awk with -f as a file name, and then the name of the file name that we have. Notice the difference between h.awk and then hello-world.awk. So the only difference here, the begin and print hello world is the same on both, but one is using user ben gawk, and the other one I'm using env as the binary, and then pass -s means separators. Separator we are using here because of the -f. If you don't do use the separator, you will get syntax error. So when you're using the env, if your argument is Python, you don't need the -s. If your argument is bash, you don't need this. But if your argument is -f for awk, then you need to separate the awk with the -f, and you do this. And if you want to see the env, the command in verbose mode, so you can get it in debug mode, and you can attach a -v also with s uppercase. The s is uppercase. So now this one, the hw.awk is also running the same hello world, but notice that here I can do the same thing, -f and then hw.awk. So it says the same thing there. The syntax, notice the difference between the syntax of one h.awk and g.awk, I mean hw.awk. The two syntax, or the only thing is that this one is using env, the other one is hard-coded gawk. It assumes that it is gawk is on user bin. If your code is gawk is found on user /bin gawk, your program will fail. So it's not portable. This one is definitely portable, assuming the user bin is on env, which in all Linux and Unix system by default gets installed on the user bin. env. So then env is always found there, therefore it is going to be portable. So your program gets loaded into another machine, then it's not going to just fail. But here, if the machine gawk is not found at the user bin location, it will fail. Let me just show you one more example here. So the next one that I wrote is like name.awk. So if you look at this one, clearing the screen and name.awk, this is a very simple gawk program. Again, I'm using env, and then let me just clear the screen here, and then do this laugh out loud cat, and then this way you can see a little bit different on the argument, white to white. It doesn't make sense, but here this one is the actual program inside content of it. Again, if you want to print that program, you could do that one using cat -n name.awk, or you could just say awk and then print a number of rows, comma, $0, and then do close it, and then say the name of the file, which is name.awk. You could do the same thing. It will print out like cat -n there. And then again, if you do a grep similar to grep, you could do a pattern matching on this one. So let me just show you a grep example of it. Let's say I'm looking for grep -i, the word Wahid, and then I could say on name.awk, you could get that one information, and then I'm going to do laugh out loud cat, and then this one is a little bit different in terms of like color, so you see the lines different, and then I'm going to press two lines here, and so I can do a equivalent to this command. Let's just do the example of that one with awk. So if I do the same thing with awk, I could say awk and then put the pattern that I want to match. In this case is Wahid, like I just typed it, and then I say print and then $0. Since I'm only printing that information, I could do that. And then close the pattern and then everything for the file name, name.awk. And that would do the same thing. So we did show you the name.awk already, I'm going to run it now from the script name. So you can see basically the contents of a name.awk. It has those tabs and then hello name, and it does exactly, when you run it like this, it will just do the same thing. And if you do the syntax of awk-f and then name.awk, it will just do the same thing. So many ways you can run it. And now let's say I want to do this one from piping, not using name.awk. If I just want to do something like that, I could say echo -e and then just say tab, tab, 3 tabs, and then I say hello, and then I could just put the name here, and since I have it here, I don't have to declare, excuse me, Wahidullah, and then just do a new line character. So this would just do echo hello Wahidullah like I wanted to do it. But then if I just do pass that one to awk, then I need to print $0. $0 would just give me hello Wahidullah. If I just do $1, it will just give me hello, and then $2 would give me Wahidullah, and then $0 give me both. Or I could just say $1, comma $2, and then that would also do similar to $0, depending on how you want to print it out. So this is about awk programming language, and then we already discussed everything that we should have discussed. I'm going to thank you for watching, and let me see, I have this piece .sh, and basically this is my YouTube channel. You're welcome to like and subscribe our channel, and make sure that you join so you could get all the subsequent videos. I'm planning to make classes for awk programming languages, for Python, for shell scripting, for C, C++, database, MySQL kind of things. As I'm just making every videos, eventually you will be having a lot of classes for free, and everything will be available for you. Please don't forget to subscribe and like our channels and make comments the way you like to see those videos. The more people make comments, the better videos I will make, and I will get encouraged because I see that people have some time to watch it, and they're learning it, and they're making their improvement, whether at their jobs or school or anything in their life, and they're making a big impact for themselves as well as their lovely families. Take care, enjoy it, have peace, and have a great time, all of you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.